This week, Iowa State University released its annual land value survey, which found a slight increase in farmland values in Iowa. The change in land prices varied across the state, with the regions with increases exceeding those with small declines. The survey found that 55% of land purchases were from estate sales, and another 22% came from retired farmers. Thomas Shutter of Farmers National Company recently appeared on the MTOM podcast discussing current parties involved in land sales.
Our typical stereotype, it's the folks with legacy assets with some type of a life event in the background, where they're typically not trying to offload these assets, rather forced to in a lot of cases based on their current situation. Could be an estate, could be some type of death in the family. It could be all sorts of things, but it's really based on their goals individually and not necessarily a broader market dynamic. Now, you do have a smaller facet of the market that's focused on returns. And over time, they're going to gravitate towards those higher returning assets and getting out of farmland into some type of a stock or some other vehicle.
2/3 of 2025 Iowa land purchases were made by active farmers, with investors completing another 22% of purchases. New farmers were involved in only 4% of land transactions in the state. Survey respondents pointed towards strong yields, large cash reserves, and high credit availability as the primary support for land prices. Shutter adds market forces are in play more when the quality of the land is up for sale.
We've talked about this equilibrium point coming where we've seen a gluttony of buyers for a long time and not as many sellers. And we're starting to reach that point where maybe there's some farms out there that aren't getting sold at auction for what the sellers would like. And so that really tells me that there's a lot less buyers out there, especially for those lower quality or average farms.
The survey estimates that 85% of farmland in Iowa is owned debt-free. The Iowa State Survey mimics results of other land value surveys by the USDA and Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago. Half of survey respondents believe land values will remain flat or decrease in 2026 due to low commodity prices and high interest rates. 81% of experts believe land values will rise 10 to 20% by 2030. Iowa State University has been compiling its survey of farmland values since 1941. The 2025 survey used 435 county-level estimates from 316 professionals that work in agriculture. From Market to Market, I'm Peter Tubbs.